So here we are again at the Broward County Stadium. Eddie Edwards along with my good friend Mr. Audie Watson out of Jamaica. And we're about to see the Afghan Zwanan Cricket Club coming up against the, I'll give you that in a second. 22 yards. That's easy. Saw this team yesterday. Certainly put on a show for the fans that was watching worldwide. Saw the likes of Bishop. Got the wicket of Chris Gale, his very first delivery. So we'll wait and see.
So they are 22 yards or Guyana 2. Guyana number 2. It has a lot of Guyanese players in that side.
Well, what would they like to be called though?
That's not an official name, Guyana 2.
So Cody Chetty is the man on strike. Saeed Abdullah is at the non-strikers end. And it's going to be Asad Ali who is going to open the attack from the northern end. He'll be bowling to Chetty.
The lights are on at the moment, so we are playing on the lights.
Play down towards the point region and will go away for 4. So that's a nice looking cricket shot there, Audley. First delivery from Ali, being played into the square region and into the boundary board for 4.
Beautifully cracked out on the offside here, just maybe back of the point, and it races away down to the boundary. The fielder chase, but of course just to retrieve the ball, no chance at all.
So valiant effort, and certainly the ball won the race that time. So Chetty's off the mark. He's on 4. Very first delivery he faced from Abdullah. And over there at point, and this will get cut off there. Coming the man from the third man region, he runs around but cannot prevent the batsman from coming back for run number 2.
I think this time Eddie, the batsman was very fortunate. The fielder jumped and he caught the tip of his fingers, but just could not bring down that catch. Very difficult. He jumped, so he's fortunate to be there. It would be a spectacular catch. Nevertheless, it's 2 runs to the total.
6 it is without loss. So Abdullah, as Ali turns in the distance. Beaten for pace outside the line of the off. Some good take by the wicketkeeper. Ball keeping low on its way to the keeper.
I think the bowler is bowling to a plan. He's keeping ball up and about on the offside. So if you're going to hit him, you got to be out on the offside, not giving him a chance to hook or pull the ball over mid-wicket or thereabout.
So let's see how long that will last for. Because a couple of 4s or 6 can actually change the entire strategy.
And of course, it's a batsman game. We are still in the first 6 overs.
Slow delivery down the leg side. It is called and signaled wide by the umpire. So Abdullah guilty of going down the leg side and bowling a wide. 7 it is without loss.
Yes, I was saying it's a batsman game, T20. The bowler cannot infringe down the leg side, or if it's too far on the offside, still could be called wide. But then, just after the completion of 6 overs, the fielders can have more than 2 fielders outside the 30-yard circle.
Snapped away into the covers. It's a single. No single, I'm sorry. Total remain on 7 for 1. That's a regular thing for Ivor Henry.
And we've been informed by Ivor that is a little drizzling is going on outside there, so we'll watch and see what's going to happen from here. A little drizzle.
I told you guys earlier on this morning that rain was mentioned in the forecast.
We did not. We did believe you, but
that's that ball delivery, and that deliveries are like gold dust. 7 is yet to score. Cutty is on 6 from some 5 deliveries. Asad Ali turns just about now in the distance. Big, tall man in Ali. Played into the extra cover region. Fielder coming around to his left. Looked like Bishop. He rivals the return in. And they prevent the batsman from getting a single. So the over comes to an end. The end of over number 1, in which Shetty was very aggressive. He scored. His total is 6, and it is 7 without loss, Orly.
7 without loss, and if they should continue at this at 7 per over, then of course you know it'd be 140. But of course 22 yards will be trying their best not to allow that to happen.
22 yards Sultan and Afghan Zwanan Cricket Club. So going to see who is going to be the bowler, who is going to pick up the attack from the Comanche box end.
So 22 yards won the toss, and they are fielding. Maybe they just like to be the one that doing the chasing this time.
You can't chase the opening and chasing the closing. It's always a difficult task. So it's Ahmed Ned. Isn't that the young man from Trinidad and Tobago? From Guyana that would have played for the West Indies under 19? Saw him in the CPL. So, according to my analyst and teacher, I would say Lenny Archibald just informing us that his dad played first-class cricket for Guyana. So left arm,
So it's a family affair.
Certainly seems and look like that. Down towards the white third man region, and this will run away for 4. Pitched up outside the line of the off stump, and that's what he is guilty of doing.
Yeah, no doubt about that one. Once it passes the infield, you know it's going to be 4 all the way. And exactly what it turned out to be.
So Ahmed Ned, none for 4. Total now is 11 without loss. So here's the left arm spinner. Onto the front foot. Into the short mid-off region. So Cutty we saw Abdullah we saw yesterday. Very aggressive. Let's see if that will continue.
It seems the drizzle has disappeared. I'm not seeing any evidence of that out on the field right now, or on the what we can see. And the fielders, the batting team, they are sitting out. So I guess there's no chance of the match being rained out at the moment, which is good news.
Indeed it is. Chap the way down towards point. Batsman just ambles through for a quick single. Takes the total now to some 12 without loss.
And Said Abdullah will be having something in mind to, make maybe another 50, post another 50 on this pitch today. along with Ketty.
Who knows
Chetty.
what would happen? Slap the way down towards square cover. And this will run away to the boundary for 4, all along the ground for 4. Not a man move except to retrieve the ball from the boundary board.
That was a Dan Bradman. Keep it on the carpet. Keep it on the carpet.
So 16 it is without loss. Chetty is on 10. And he has faced some 7 deliveries. Saeed Abdullah, he's on 5 from 5. Ahmed Ned, none for 9.
Did you know that Dan Bradman only hit 6 sixes in his entire Test career?
Yes, I know that. Thank you very much, Audley.
And did you know that he did not hit a single 6 in his first-class career?
I know that now.
Thank you, Eddie. But I know some listeners or some viewers out there may be hearing for the first time.
It's a lot of things that I know, Audley, but I just don't share it. I'm a quiet man.
So are you telling me that you're selfish, Eddie?
That's your opinion of,
No,
of
I'm
what I
asking
said.
you. I'm asking you. I'm not saying you are.
What do you think? Whatever inference you want to draw from that statement, it's totally up to you. I have absolutely nothing else to say as far as that is concerned.
You plead the fifth.
Don't put words in my mouth. I never said that. It's going to be Ali again. Delivery outside the line of the off stump. A good delivery this time from Ali. And the batsman just watch it goes by Abdullah.
He's picking up a little pace. You could say that that ball got some lift, but not dangerous enough for the batter. So he just leave it alone. Say, go on your way to the wicketkeeper.
The track is playing a lot better today than it was yesterday. The ball is coming through. And certainly we have to give kudos to the ground staff. In behind it, push it into the offside. And the batsman can get no runs. The total is 16 without loss. Abdullah is on 5.
And every occasion that we happen to come here, you know that it's always, the ground is always in top condition. When it rains, they would be out there working assiduously, you know, getting water off the pitch, using the what they call super dap blower, super sapper, thank you Lenny, super sapper, to suck that ball away and releasing it outside of the boundary area. So they're always working very hard, whether they're trying to, you know, sap that water or just keep the square in top
and that
condition.
Ball peel off the edge into the third man region. Abdullah goes on to 6, brings Chetty back into strike. 17 it is without loss. And they would want to score as much runs as possible. I'm pretty much sure that they're looking in the region of 160, 175, somewhere thereabouts.
Which would be the highest score for this year tournament so far?
And we're only into day number 2. Just about to wrap up now. We're into the final game. Plays it into the covers in Chetty. Good delivery there from Abdullah. So we have some 2.4 deliveries gone. And we're moving along at a very fast rate of speed there, oddly. 2.4 overs, I'm sorry.
Yes, we are going on. We should be, everything should be completed tonight by 8:30, 9 o'clock. We have to be out here, I think, by 8:30. So it would help if one team would bowl the other one out in less than 10 over. This one is hit high, and will it be high and far enough? Yes, it appears to be. Yes, the umpire signal 6 runs.
So good looking shot there from Chetty. High and hard. Certainly had the distance, carried all the way over the long on boundary, and it went for 6. So good hit, and it gave it a good whacking. Chetty goes on to 16. It takes the total now to some 23 without loss. Asad Ali, none for 14. Been roughed up there by Chetty on that occasion. So Ali now making just a little minor adjustment to the field. Leading to the cover in between the legs of the man at short cover region there. So gets a single. Brings Abdullah into strike. The over comes to an end. Overs are going fast there, oddly.
And that misfield single could turn out to be very important.
Could be the vital run.
Could be the vital runs at the end of this match. But as it is right now, they're going to exactly 8 runs an over after 3 overs, halfway through the power play period. It's 24 without loss for 22 for the Afghan.
The Afghans are one.
Afghans are 1 CC. 8 per over. And now we have seen a change once again in the direction of the wind. It's now coming out of the west. So if you are going to bowl a off spinner, you'd bowl from the southern end, get that ball to drift with you. Or someone you bowling off cutters, fast bowler bowling off cutters.
It's going to be a new bowler. It's going to be Jesse Singh. And let's see if he can make a difference from the commentary box end. 24. Let's see if he can get the breakthrough that the Sultan team is looking for. Chetty is on 17 from some 10 deliveries, and Abdullah is on 8. It's away down towards the point region. No runs in resulting.
Will somebody get hot? I remember in the earlier game, things were so hot that you were calling for the fire brigade to cool down these players. Will someone get red hot here? Will we have to be calling for the fire brigade?
Into the cover region, and coming across, knocks it down. Cannot prevent the batter from getting a single. Total goes up by 1 to 25. Shetty is on 18. Abdullah is on 6.
And we could say they are laying a very solid foundation. They are in no hurry at the time. Run rate 7.5. So absolutely no hurry at this time. They're going to lay that foundation, and then the rest will come and build on that.
Chops it down towards third man. So they better take the time and hurry up, because not very much longer, not very much overs to go. And you have to put a lot of runs on the board.
I would say they have quite a lot. 16, they have some 16.3 overs.
Well, not in the minds of the Sultan team. I'm thinking for the captain, though. Not very much overs to go. So whatever runs you want to make, you got to get it early. Played into the onside. 26 it is without loss. So if you're just joining us, if you're just coming into the ground, certainly would like to let you know that it is indeed a pleasure to have you. Turns is Singh. And for those of you who are listening to us on your smartphone, we're asking you very kindly to turn your phone down just a wee bit, because we're getting a little bit of feedback into the commentary box here. Audley Watson. 27 it is. That's a good run between the wicket. Cutty between Chetty and Abdullah. You remember those days, my friend there from Guyana, Mr. Archibald? Lenny Archibald. Certainly, those were the good old days when you were listening on your transistor radio and you're close to the commentary box, and the commentator would give the instructions that they're getting a heavy feedback. Those days are long gone. Leading to the short mid-on region, and comes across, knocks it down. No runs in result. 27 it is. The over comes to an end.
Now you don't have to listen on the radio. You can watch it on your smartphone.
Phone is extremely smart these days. But how smart is your smartphone, or the Watson?
Very,
It's very smart.
very smart.
It tells you what happens at home.
I guess it can be programmed that way. You want to turn off the lights and whatever. You just need to do the programming, and it's happened. They are very smart, man.
It tells you what amount of meat you might have in the refrigerator, though.
I don't need that.
You know that because you go to shopping, don't you? Indeed, or the Watson, the man out of Jamaica, the land of wood and water.
And meat.
I'm not sure about that. Back to cricket. Chetty, he's on 19 from some 14 deliveries, 27. It is without loss. Saeed Abdullah is on 7 from some 10 deliveries. So he has slowed down from what we saw of him yesterday evening though.
Certainly does.
It's not the aggressive Abdullah that we saw. Seems like the role has reversed because Chetty was more the tamed batter and Abdullah was more the aggressor.
Yeah, each match is a different match, and each circumstances, you know, maybe they had a team meeting and decide who is going to do what, and they're playing to a plan.
Well, the captain now has switched Ashmed Ned from the commentary box end to the northern end. Let's see if this will bring him luck. The youngster out of Guyana. Left arm over the wicket. And give himself some room and just open the face of the bat and guide it down to wide third man. He pulls it back, slides and pulls it back. Good bit of feeling there for the man of the short third man boundary. Mr. Griffith.
Trayvon Griffiths, number 1.
And he is number 1 in my book. 29 it is. Chetty is on 21 from 16. So it looks like the captain is making some adjustment out in the middle there now. It's not a left-hander, right-hander combination by any stretch of the imagination thus far. It's 2 solid right-handers.
Well, the captain decided not to relax and wait for something to happen. He's trying to make something happen by moving his field around.
But he really making something happen because this one is slapped out towards cover. This will run away for 4. It does. 4 more to the man Chetty. 4 more to the total. 33 it is. Or the lovely shot all along the ground. Not a man move.
A very crowded offside, may I say, and he penetrated that field. And the only reason they were chasing the ball is to return it from beyond the boundary.
It was a very long chase. And in the end, the ball won the race. 33 without loss.
We are in over number 5, 4.5 overs so far. Just about 2.5 hours left in the power play. And that sometimes here in the power play overs, I think we are going to see some fireworks. Because now is the time with only one fielder outside the 30-yard circle. You know, this is the time when they're going to make hay while the sun shines.
Well, it's Christmas time. Why not make hay? Just want to stop down towards point. Ricocheting of Bishru. Batman ambles through for a very quick single. Yes, no, in the end. They came through for it. Brings Abdullah into strike. Settles now. And he perishes there. It looks like Jesse Singh takes the catch. So Abdullah goes looking to get a little bit aggressive out towards long off. Didn't have the height that he was looking for. And in the end, he perishes in the deep there, or the Watson. 34 for 1.
As I was saying, the captain was not waiting for something to happen. He's making it happen. And at this time, I'll be out and Mr. Lenny Archibald will be coming in.
So some 5 overs completed. Saeed Abdullah is the man out for 7. Chetty is on 26. He's at the non-strikers end. So Ahmed Ned not a very bad over from the young man, taking the wicket of Abdullah. So the new batter is Paul Palmer. He comes to the crease. And he'll be bowling to Chetty. So Chetty now just have a final look at the field setting. Jesse's going to continue from the southern end. And Lenny, you would have stayed back there and see a little bit of aggression from the 2 openers.
Yeah, Jesse Singh runs into ball to Chetty. Chetty is steering this one. Certainly, Eddie Abdullah is a quality player out of New York. Saeed Abdullah, a very tame dismissal in the air and diving catch from Jesse Singh as we see him on the screen. He's a top player, Jesse Singh. He's the fast bowler these days with the U.S. national team. He joins the likes of Rusty Terron, Elmore Hutchinson, and Netravalka as the U.S. fast bowling department.
He's in good company, I'm pretty much sure. As we watch him runs away now.
And by the way, Eddie, this Cody Chetty, he's a South African and plays in the first class setup in South Africa. So he comes with some bit of reputation, having represented the Dolphins, one of the franchise team out of South Africa. So this tournament has really attracted people from around the world.
Around the world.
When was on, we were trying to go through the list, a long list. And we've seen a couple of players from South Africa. We see Wayne Parnell here.
Yes, indeed. Had a good over. Had a good game yesterday where he would have won man of the match. Had took some 3 wickets. So this one is turned down towards the backward of square region. And the fielder coming around from mid-wicket knocks it down, but cannot prevent the batter from coming back for run number 2. So it takes a total now to some 36 for 1. Chetty is on 28. Palmer is yet to score.
Yeah, just coming back to the South African crew. We've seen the likes of Wayne Parnell. We have seen Dane Pete, the off-spinner. And also now we're seeing Cody Chetty. Rusty Terron is South African also. So players from really around the world has really come down on South Florida.
And we're certainly excited to have them here in the MAQ T20 tournament. This is the 12th edition. This one is guided way down towards the backward point gully area. Man diving to his right to pull it back, but the batsman amateur for a quick single, is it? So 37, according to my score, 37 for 1.
Yeah, Chetty has batted well so far. He's played some lovely shots in the earlier part. We saw just slicing the ball to the backward point area to quite effect as Paul Palmer comes into strike. And Paul Palmer is another youth player out of Jamaica who would have played for the West Indies at the junior level. I remember several years ago, Dixet Palmer, his uncle, when he was in New York, told us to watch for his one of his relatives coming up, and here's the man, Paul Palmer, he's top player.
But did he captain the Jamaica team at 1.2?
Palmer, Dixet Palmer, he may have. I think he played briefly he used to play in New York, used to always come up there, Dixet Palmer. Yeah, he might have captained them at one point, not too sure.
So Singh turns now, on his way to bowl to Palmer. Down the leg side, it is signaled and called wide. So Singh fighting for pace here now. and maybe want to create some sort of a doubt in the mind of Palmer, saying that I'm not going to allow you to get away with any cheapy singles here.
Yeah, Jesse Singh will always remember this ground. This is the ground he made his ODI debut when the US hosted Namibia and Papua New Guinea. And that was September in 2019.
Not too very long ago. So delivery, it's a no ball this time. So wide and a no ball, that's not a very good combination. At least not for Jesse Singh.
Jesse Singh has had no ball problems, and it has come back tonight. Certainly he has had some no ball issues when playing for the US team. He forms the attack these days with Rusty Terron. We've got Elmore Hutchison up there, and then we've got the captain Sarab Netravalka. So they are the quartet for the US at the moment. Free hit ball.
That's what they say. So let's see what Palmer will do with this. Not certain that I would have seen a signal from the umpire though. But let's see what happens. And he's bowled him. But does it count? No. Not for Palmer.
Yeah. And Eddie Edwards, that the no ball free hit out replaces the spectator's catch back in the days.
Back in the days.
When you used to see something like a bomb ball. Yeah, and the crowd erupts thinking it's
a catch by the bowler.
So Palmer yet to get off the mark. He's only faced a couple of balls. And Chetty, he's batted well for 29. They've lost the wicket of Abdullah. It's 39 for 1.
So Palmer now will have to buckle down and give his team some big runs here. He's yet to score. He's allowed appeal, and the finger goes up. And Jesse Singh is elated. He's excited, getting the wicket of Palmer without scoring there, Lenny.
Yeah, it looks pretty plumb from here. Not too much to ask from that. Umpire Mangesh Rana quickly raises the dreaded finger. And Jesse Singh finally comes through. He's picked up his first wicket. And Eddie, from where we're sitting here, that looks pretty out.
Well, I'll have to ask the third umpire in the back here, Audley. What do you think? Is it a yes or no? Maybe? Audley said yes, he's plumb. Umpire's call. So Audley said he's out. I'll go with Audley. 39 it is for 2. The new batsman is Dominic Rickey.
Yeah, Dominic Rickey comes out of New York, and watch for this fella. He's a very talented player, Dominic Rickey. And while he hasn't played U.S. national cricket yet, in my opinion, he's very up there. I wouldn't be surprised in another year or so he's into the he's into the U.S. national fold. He's a top player, very dominating. He's probably one of the better batsmen out of New York. And he comes to the crease at 39 for 2 with Jesse Singh on fire.
So most of these players, you know them from the tri-state area.
Well, so Dominic Rickey is, Abdullah is, Jesse Singh is. And by the way, Jesse Singh usually represents Somerset Cavaliers, and so did Abdullah Saeed.
So they're just switching teams this year?
Probably, because Somerset Cavaliers is such a packed team, very compressed team. In fact, Somerset Cavaliers is like a first-class team, to be honest. And I mean, it doesn't get bigger than that.
We saw them here yesterday. Certainly played extremely well.
So Chetty on 29, joined by Dominic Rickey. But Rickey will have a little bit of breather here as Chetty will be the man on strike. Ahmed Ned, it appears, will continue. And Ahmed, Eddie Edwards, he has also played in the Guyana Amazon Warriors franchise setup this year. And he was used quite nicely because since the tournament was held in Trinidad and Tobago, because of the probably a similar wicket type to what we have here, he was used nicely to bowl leg spin, and he did bowl pretty well in that series. So he's had some bit of experience at the franchise level already, and he's still a very young man, son of Gavin Ned, who would have also played at the Guyana national level, an off spinner, Gavin Ned. He's now a coach, but the cricket goes over to Ashman Ned. The tradition continues.
So is he from Demerara or he's from Georgia?
Yes, they are. They are. Gavin Ned from Demerara. So the left arm leg spinner, Ned, will come into bowl to Chetty. Chetty has batted well, but with a couple of wickets here, Eddie Edwards.
Things can change quite easily and quickly too. So here is Ned. Snapped away into the cover. Fielded there by the man wearing the number 1 jersey.
Yeah, that's Trevon Griffith. And Trevon Griffith, Eddie Edwards, one of the reasons he's quite prominent in the field. He's very, very confident of himself. He's a very good catcher. And he's a top fielder, so watch for him being prominent. Wherever he is, he's going to cover a lot of real estate.
Well, if you're not confident in yourself, I don't think that you should be playing the game.
And he always have a habit. I've seen him a lot of times. I saw him in the minor league this year playing for the New York franchise. He does have a habit. Once the ball goes up in the air, he will start telling the batsman, walk,
Start walking.
while he's taking the catch. So confident he is.
That's a good way to do it. Get in the head of the batsman. But this one is pulled away down towards the mid-wicket region and into the boundary board for 4. So good looking shot there from the man wearing the number 7 jersey it is.
Yeah, Dominic Rickey, he's a top player. He can score very quickly, and watch for him to play proper cricketing shots. Although this is a T20 game, you want quick runs from Dominic Rickey. Watch for some really good stroke. He's that type of player. He's a class.
So he's a stroke player by nature. So Dominic Rickey, here all the accolades being played and placed on the young man.
Yeah, he comes out of New York, a team called Liberty. Liberty Richmond Hill, one of the top clubs in New York, and they've done extremely well this year. Couple of big hitters in that squad. Dino Chawinam, Dominic Rickey, some of the other top players. Dominic Rickey is special though.
He's a special one. 44 for 2. Plays into the cover. Good run in between the wicket between these two. So 45 for 2.
So 22 yards, a cricket terminology, simply means from stump to stump. The measurement is 22 yards, 66 feet. So when the keeper gets up from at the end of the over from a spinner, he walks what, 25 paces, 25. Well, it's 22 yards, but they say an adult will probably cover 22 yards in about 25 or 26 steps. Oddly,
that's what they say.
But not oddly. Oddly will probably do 22. Oddly has
long legs.
Yeah.
So the over comes to an end. So at the end of the over, at the end of it, 45 it is for the Afghan Zwanan CC. 45 for 2. Dominic Rickey, he's on 5. Chetty is on 30. That's the latest score here at the Central Broward Regional Park.
And Eddie, just coming back to 22 yards, you know, we've seen so many changes in the laws and the rules of cricket. But one thing has remained fixed, is the length of the pitch. It has not moved from 22 yards. We've seen so many adjustments to the format of the game, to some of the laws being tweaked and stuff like that. The pitch has remained the same. I remember in the 70s and the 80s when the West Indies battery of fast bowlers were taking off on the world, there was the suggestion that the pitch should go to 23.
Just because of the pace.
So Devendra Bishu comes into the attack, and this is a man who has played at the international level. 36 tests and 41 the international for the West Indies. So he's been there.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, he's been there for some time. So he comes into the attack here, and let's see what we got. 45 for 2.
So he's here, and we want him to do that. What he has done for the West Indies.
Oh, he's offering a chance here. Fielder comes in and takes the catch. And so Dominic Rickey falls cheaply today. He falls for 5. And a perfect bowling start from Devendra Bishu. You can't ask for anything better than getting a wicket off your very first delivery. It's 45 for 3.
And I tell you what, yesterday, his first delivery, but from the northern end, he got the wicket of Christopher Gale. And today now, coming from the southern end, his first delivery, got the wicket of Ricky. So it is something about his first delivery, Devendra Bishu. 45 it is for a loss of 3 wickets, 7.1 overs gone.
Yeah, so Bishu comes in and gets the big wicket of Dominic Ricky. Trying to go through the offside, not timed well. A big scoop in the air.
Certainly had the height.
Yeah, the fielder, it appears to be Kevin Sinclair. Yeah, it is Kevin Sinclair, another Guyana Amazon Warrior player. He comes up with a relatively well-judged catch. It was hanging in the air for a while, and all of a sudden it's 45 for 3.
Well, they say early on, or they were saying that Guyana is the Sultan there, Guyana 2, but not officially. So what percentage of the players out there are Guyanese, though?
Well, let's see. We've got Trevon Griffith. We've got Christopher Barnwell. We've got Kevin Sinclair. We've got Ned. We've got Bishu. Are you counting?
Yes, I am.
And we've got Sharfin Rutherford. So it's quite a few.
And you still have Rainsford Beaton.
Yeah, I
even
don't think.
though he was born in Montserrat to Guyanese parents, but he's still Guyanese anyways. So he would have represented Guyana back then. So quite a long following of Guyanese. So 46 for 3. Chetty is on 31. Bajaj is at the non-strikers end. So he's beaten outside the line of the off stump. So good bit of bowling here from Bishu.
Yeah, he's very experienced, having played at the international level, and he also played 70-20 international. So with regards to T20, what we're watching here now, he has played a handful.
So he has given himself, he can give an account for himself. This one is played into the offside.
And Eddie, with the nature of the Broward County pitch, you've got to favor bowlers like Devendra Bishu, where the wicket probably may not have all the shots in the world, and he's a right arm leg spinner. He does come with variation, can bowl the googly, can bowl the wrong on, I'm pretty sure.
And he's bowled him. He's gone. You just talking about his deliveries there, and you, as the commentator and commentators curse, Bishu gets another wicket. So Bajaj goes, bowled by Bishu without scoring. 46 it is for the loss of 4 wickets. The Afghan Zwanan, they are in trouble.
Yeah, a couple of strikes in this over from Devendra Bishu. The second one, a more comprehensive dismissal. You can't complain with that. He needed no one to help him.
Absolutely not.
And certainly beaten by turn, and certainly flight, and the experience of Devendra Bishu is 46 for 4.
So the 22-yard Sultans, not only they're going 22 yards distance, they're certainly taking wickets from 22 yards. So 46 for 4. Chetty is on 31. He has faced some 26 deliveries. So the new batsman is Asad Funadin. Another Guyanese, Lenny.
Yes, Eddie, and he has also played at the test level. So all these players are a power-packed 22 yards team. They brought out the big guns today, but they're struggling at 46 for 4. Funadin comes in to join Chetty. Chetty on 31.
So Guyanese to Guyanese. What a thing. So 46 for 4. Bishu is about to bowl to Funadin. Swing that away down towards the fine leg region and into the boundary board for 4. So good way to open your account. Good way to get out the mark. The total goes up now to 50. The 50 is on the board, been posted. So 50 for 4. Funadin is on 4. Chetty is on 31.
Yeah, not a bad scoring rate. They're going at over 6 runs and over. But you look at the wickets column, and doesn't look too pleasant there. Those are not numbers that the 22 yards would really like to see. But they've got Funadin and certainly Chetty out in the middle.
So
Fodadin, as we made mention, would have played at the highest level.
So 8 overs completed. So 2 more overs to go before we just get a little innings break, if there is such thing in the MAQ T20 tournament. I'm pretty much sure Ivor Henry would like that as well. So Funadin is on 4. Kevin Sinclair is going to be the bowler from the northern end. Let's see what he has up his sleeve. Talk about these players from Guyana so eloquently, Lenny. Let's see if they live up to expectation.
Yeah, Kevin Sinclair along with Ned, 2 young spinners out of Guyana. Kevin Sinclair is an off spinner. Had a stint with the Guyana Amazon Warriors this year. Did pretty well, and in fact was used to open the batting in one of the CPL games. So not only is he an off spinner, but he can also bat. So a lot of talent here.
So here is he now on his way to bowl to Chetty. Now towards the mid-wicket region, no run.
So Chetty has held up his side of the bargain. And he's up to 31. He's seen wickets fall around him. Wickets falling at 34, 39, 45 and 46.
This one is past Griffin now, so he gets a single. Brings Funadin into strike.
So Asad Fodadin, he has another brother, also would have played youth cricket for Guyana. But Asad was the better Fodadin that went on for play at the international level.
We saw Funadin at this end yesterday, and the second ball that he would have faced from Dial would have gotten his wicket. So let's see what happens now.
Well, he's picked up a boundary already. One of the ball from Devendra Bishu, the final ball.
So are you saying that's a consolation for the young man? Very well might be. That's a dot ball, and dot balls are like gold dust. Chetty remains on 32. Funadin slapped it back to the bowler. Sinclair comes across, knocks it down. That's another dot ball. 52 it is to 4.
Yeah, good quality bowling here from Sinclair.
Just tightening the screws just a little bit. Don't want to give the batters any false hope. This one is played into the crowd where they get a single. So 52 for 4. Funadin goes on to 5. The over comes to an end. The end of over number 9. So your thoughts thus far, Lenny? 9 overs bowled, and they have 53 runs on the board.
Yes, Eddie Edwards. So they're going very close to 6 runs and over. You wonder the projection score here, just about 115. It's not going to probably hold up too well. You still want to get about 130, 140 still. But you never know. They've lost wickets quite rapidly, and because of this man here, Devendra Bishu, a double strike in the last over.
Lost couple of wickets.
And he will come into bowl to Fodadin, and if I'm not mistaken, and I know a lot of Guyanese are listening out there, I think Fodadin and Devendra Bishu, they come from the same village, Albion, a village that has produced some top players over the years for Guyana.
Albion Sports Club. I've heard a lot about that.
So just in case both players are from Albion have also produced Veerasamy Perumal and Sushivnarayan, who would have played at the test level.
Had the occasion of seeing him bat a couple of years back then. Very hard hitting an aggressive batter.
Yeah, he was a good all-rounder. I would have played with the West Indies team when of course the Kerry Packer situation, when West Indies needed some players around, and Eddie Edwards, you know your Caribbean cricket pretty well. If there's a crisis in, let's say, Barbados or Trinidad, and your Trinidadians or your Guyanese, they quickly want to pull you in rather than flying a player. So
Almost definitely.
So players around the Caribbean have benefited from the fact that, well, this was a home game. And we were able to quickly get a replacement rather than flying somebody that needed to come in a couple of hours. So 53 for 4, we are in the 10th.
That is correct. Being bowled by Bishop. Played into the offside. Griffin's field bowler comes in at the striker's end. And he's out. So good bit of feeling there by Trevin Griffith. And you talk about the young man so very often. And he has not let you down so far.
Yeah, apparently Fodderden doesn't know that. And I'm surprised he's played with Trevon. Trevon Griffith is a shark in the field, as they would say. He's very rapid. He gets onto the ball quickly. And he's very astute. He takes fielding as fun and serious. So you've got to be very watchful. So another wicket goes down. They're in trouble here. 22 yards with all the talent. They're batting a 5-5-5, 55 for 5.
That's not a good score thus far. But let's look at it. It's already on the board. And sometimes the scoreboard pressure, that little bit of run can make sure that the fielding team's being put under pressure. 54 for 5. Chetty is on 32. Ryan Francis, they say, is the new batsman. Let's see what he can do. So, Afghans are one. CC, last wicket fell. Asad Fulladin run out by Trevin Griffith for 5. And Chetty is at the non-strikers and he's on 32. So, 2 more legal deliveries left in this over. So he looks around the field now. I see my good friend Ivor Henry behind me moving up and down from left to right. Pretty soon he'll be taking my seat.
So there's Zwanan struggling here, 54 for 5. Ryan Francis.
And it's a no ball being bowled by Bishu. How can Bishu bowl no ball at this juncture? Can you answer that for me, Lenny?
Well, it will be followed up by a free hit ball.
Sometimes when you get those free hit ball, your eyes open up wide. You want to hit a 6. You want to hit a 4. You want to do a lot of things.
Yeah, the Afghans, Zwanan will welcome this one. They've been put under pressure in the last 10 balls or so. And Devendra Bishu has spun a web around these batsmen. When he's not taking wickets, they're getting run out. So he's been quite successful.
All around, he's in the game. He's totally involved.
Oh, smashed into the onside, but Sharfin Rutherford, realizing it's a free hit ball, doesn't even bother to go for the catch. They come back for a couple of runs. And so 2 more runs here for Afghan Zwanan. 58 for 5.
Yes, indeed, and they're getting up there. Slowly but surely, they're crawling. 58 for 5. 9.5 overs gone. And as I see my good friend Ivor Henry is about to come into the chair. So that delivery, just doing a little check right from the wicketkeeper. Let's see what the umpire signals by. So 1 more to the extras. 59 it is for 5. And at the end of 10 overs, the Afghan Zawan CC 59 for 5 from 10 overs. Chetty is on 30. Ryan Francis is on 1. Over to Ivor Henry.
Yeah, very impressive display so far here from 22 yards. A well put together team, lots of talent, lots of players who would have played at the top level. And players who still continue to apply their trade, whether in the Caribbean or North America. Welcome back, Ivor Henry.
Yes, and welcome to South Florida, Lenny, coming in from the cold. And I'm going to say you would have brought some sunshine and some pleasantry to the comebox. As usual, that golden voice. I would have just witnessed Bishu wickets falling from his end, even though they were not. The last one was not credited to him. It was one for his team nonetheless. So I'm joining at 59 for 5, and Bishop would have bowled Chris Gale yesterday neck on quap, and I think that would have rejuvenated him, and he's spot on here this evening. So far he's bowled some 2 overs for some 10 runs.
Yeah, he's bowled impressively well, Devendra Bishu. And now it's over to Sinclair. Both Sinclair and Devendra Bishu bowling in tandem here has really put pressure on the Afghan Zwanan.
Yeah, having been putting to bat, they're trying to set a target and making heavy weather of it. But perhaps we can say early days yet, because with only 5 wickets down, you never know. See what Emwet and Hussain would have done, almost brought victory to the Atlanta Paramveer.
Yeah, and Chetty, the South African, is the only man holding up things here. He's 35 with 60 on the board, so you can see how massive his contribution is. Other than that, it has been a really bowling domination by Devendra Bishu, Sinclair, Ned, and Asad Ali.
And this over again, they're keeping them in the vice grip. 3 dots on the trot and just a single pole so far from the 4th delivery. We're under lights here at the Boward Central Stadium, an approved international ICC stadium, I may add.
Yes, Ivor, I was making the point earlier on that when the Indians came here a couple of years ago, Anil Kumble, the Indian coach, said he was very impressed. He didn't expect to see this facility in the U.S. He thought he would probably come and see some makeshift arrangement. He says the ground is good for T20, and so it is a wonderful facility. This facility has hosted 10 T20 internationals already. West Indies have hosted 6. We've seen the New Zealanders playing against Sri Lanka in the earlier part, might have been 2012.
Yes.
And because of that, because of the attraction to have more international cricket at this venue, the square has really undergone some work. I remember in the earlier days, used to play a little bit low.
Yes.
But a lot of work has gone into the square over the years, and it is what it is.
Yes, indeed. Well, just 2 runs coming from that over. Like we had a hat-trick of dots and a single, then a dot and a single. So, again, following the footsteps of Bishu, keeping them in a vice at this time, 61 for 5. But Chetty, the lone man there, he's going hard here, running hard, but I don't think they're going to get more than 1. Thought of a single, thought of a 2, but it just remained a thought.
Yeah, Ryan Francis will have to play some bit of a hand here. They're going at 5.5 runs and over, so not much in terms of the rate. But look at the wicket lost. And we know our cricket pretty well. Cricket, the top players bat at the top. So when you've lost 5, it's really 5 of the better batsmen, you can say. It's one of the games in which some of your better batsmen goes at the top. So ball cut it towards the offside, can't score.
So unless you have a hard-hitting all-rounder in the likes of a Pollard, Russell at this time coming in, now I think they're in a spot of bother.
Well, they still have quite a few balls remaining. We got 51 balls, so that's a long way to go. And so they will have to really try and use up that 51 balls and see where they can put their innings.
Well, this one is just tapping it to the extra cover, and a dot goes into the scores book. Again, Bishu would have played some 2020 matches for the West Indies, so he's by no means new to this format, although his specialty might be for the longer format, Test cricket. But he's proving his worth here today in the 12th edition of the US Open.
Yeah, he's played about some 40 Tests and 36 ODI, so he's been around West Indies cricket for some time.
Yes, been around the park.
And of course, when they come to these games at the US Open, of course, we are a level down from the international level and standard. And so he comes in here quite a quality bowler, a man to reckon with. 64 for 5 at the end of 12.
Yes, and he has just gone for some 13 runs. They're lucky 13. So again, not giving up a boundary, just 3 poles again and 3 dots. And like we said, they're keeping them in a vice grip.
Yeah, Bishu has gone for Bishu has bowled 3 overs, 2 for 13. Very impressive T20 figures. And considering their first wicket fell at 34, they lost cricket rapidly after that one, and now they're 64 for 5.
And to think he's bowling to a relatively set batsman in Chetty and keeping him quiet, I would think that is good bowling by any measure.
So it appears Kevin Sinclair will continue. He has been impressive himself. He's gone for 5 in 2 overs, so very impressive bowling. And Francis trying to break free will only get a single out to deep square leg. And the good spin bowling between Devendra Bishu and Kevin Sinclair and Ashmed Ned Ivor continues here. Yeah, vice grip.
Yes, indeed. They're tightening the screws because they're just getting poles, at least 2 singles from the first 2 deliveries. They're going to need some boundaries. At least they have to target one of these bowlers. At the same time, still preserving their wicket.
And Ivor, what we have seen in almost 2 days of U.S. Open cricket is that the success of spinners, and that is why teams that have top quality spinners could prosper very good in this tournament this year.
Yes. Okay, he's going high, but there's a man down there. Let's see if he's going to take it. Oh, he tried to save it. He knocked it in. He was going over his head. I would have said he would have saved some runs there.
Yeah, he's doing one of those fielding tricks that they learned from the IPL and the franchise cricket these days. Tried to knock it over, which he did. Saved 4 runs in the process.
Yes, well, he was in volleyball style. He, make sure he saved the boundary. They got 2. So at least at long last, we would have seen a double.
Yeah, Sinclair continues to bowl extremely well here. A play and a miss, and the ball goes through to the keeper.
I would say dots are like gold dust, and there's no real signs of aggression. This time he's pushing one to the point region, knocked on there, but they're just camping through for a single. Good bit of feeling in the end. As that over comes to an end, and again, just 9 runs coming from Sinclair over. So he's bowled some 3 overs for 9 runs. Can't ask for better.
Yeah, he's been impressive. So is Devendra Bishu. And even Jesse Singh, the fast bowler, bowled 2 overs, 1 for 8. So all the bowlers have really come to the party. And so far it's 68 for 5, 22 yards. Sultan having a very good night out. And the Afghan Zwanan, I'm not too sure. I think they lost their first game yesterday, Ivor?
Yes.
So they're steering some very tough games here in the stadium.
Well, Bishu is going to bowl his final over. Just 4 overs allotted in this format of 2020 cricket. So Bishu is going to take it all the way. He's looping this one, and the batsman is squatting it out to a deep middle wicket. And again, can get no more than a single. So we're having poles, but no fences.
Yeah, so 22 yards comes out of New Jersey. The eastern seaboard of the United States. They're a top team over there, Ivor.
Well, they've got to get the ball further than the 22 yards pitch that they're playing on. And this time he's going high and hard, but he's not going to get more than 1 again. As it comes down to the long on position, Bishu, for all his worth, he's putting in all his experience and trying to minimize the score.
Yeah, the man that comes out of Albion.
So we're into the
Borbis, Guyana.
Yeah, we're
He's
into the
produced some
70s.
top cricketers over the years. Sorry.
So we gone into the 70s lights, and they're appealing for a stump, but the square leg is unmoved, apart from him going in to do some repairs.
Yeah, you've got to credit Chetty here. He's stood up to the challenge here. He survived. And when you look at his scorecard, out of 70, he scored 40. They've lost 4. They've lost 5 behind him. So he himself has really been the man to really put up a fight here, if there's any, towards the 22-yard Sultan.
Yes, well, Chetty has gone on now to 41. And again, Bishu not giving up anything more than a single. He's got 3 singles from his over so far. His last delivery, legal one that is. This time he's going at him and misses. So there you go. Just 3 runs coming from that over again. And a good spell from Bishu with the bowls. His 4 overs, 2 for 16.
Yeah, impressive stuff from Devendra Bishu. Impressive bowling figures. 2 for 16, as you see on your screen. He has represented 22 yards pretty well, and probably shown us a glimpse of what, why he has played at the international level, Ivor.
Yes, indeed. And well, 71, and we have some 6 overs to go. Like I say, quite a few deliveries left in this innings, but they cannot try to go 3 runs and over. Not at least a run a ball, but a run a ball still not going to get them. Just get them over 100, 107. You don't need that. You need to at least get 120, 130.
Well, let's do some math here. They're batting at 71 for 5. We've got 35 balls remaining, and pretty much they've gone almost a run a ball. So add 35 to 71, and you'll get, what, 105? It's going to be a very paltry score, very modest. So this one is cut away from Chetty. Continues to bat well. Will pick up only a single. Thought it would have gone on for them to get a couple of runs. Sharfane Rutherford out in the slashing area of backward point. He picks it up.
Yes, although Sinclair did not get a wicket, at least he's holding his end in terms of not having the batters to score runs from him. He's just gone for 10.
So the partnership is interesting here. It's up to 19. Not bad considering we haven't seen many partnership. In fact, the highest partnership would have been the opening one of 34 with Abdullah and Chetty, but nothing of substance after the fall of that. Yeah, partnership 18, still a workable one as they get a single out to the deep areas, and brings the equation down to 32 balls remaining.
And here we go again. Dot one, and they're going to need some boundaries. So perhaps the bowlers to come after Sinclair and Bishu would have bowled out. They would have. I think they're going to have to target those bowlers. He's going high, he's going hard, he's going far, and finally we've have to book half a dozen.
Yeah, good looking shot again from Chetty. That's the second 6 of the innings. And both of those 6s would have come off the bat of Cody Chetty, the South African. So he continues to bat extremely well. He's close to getting a half century here.
Yeah, 2 away from half century. And Sinclair over, this previous over, he would have leaked some 4 runs. And by his standard, that was high. But now he has gone 8 with 1 legal delivery left in his spell. So let us see if he's going to double his last over, in which he would have given some 4 runs.
So ball worked into the onside, and you see the intent there from Chetty to keep strike. He's certainly done well. He goes up to 49, and so why not? Why not? He's been the dominating batsman so far with a scorecard that reads 80 for 5. 49 belongs to Cody Chetty.
Yes, 49 from 51. And I said Sinclair, he went for just 9 runs from that over. So 4 overs for 18 runs, no wicket. Still a good effort from the young man.
So they're going to take a little break on the pace here, I think. Jesse Singh, no, he's no. We'll have to wait and see. Number 9 has been thrown the ball.
And from his run-up, it seems as if they're going to employ more slow bowling or spin bowling. If it's working for you, why change it? So
yeah, it'll be Ned. So Ahmed Ned 1 for 22 off 3. So he will finish up here. And he's bowled well. He's used the condition. He's used the pitch. He's used the 22 yards to great effect. And it's one of the surface and certainly one of the facility that both Ned and Bishu would love bowling in.
Well, we're using pitch number 4 again. This was the pitch that was used yesterday, and it's holding up quite well. This is the final match for the evening. So we've got 2 would have gone before us. So this is final. Left armer round the wicket, and following in the footstep of Bishu, Dot to start the proceedings here.
Yeah, 49 to Chetty. Certainly a big moment coming up if he gets a single run here. Here is Ned. And there we go, 50 for the man, Cody Chetty. He picks up a 50 in 53 balls. Impressive batting, 81 for 5. And he raises his bat to certainly his the pavilion there. Well played, Cody Chetty.
Yes, his teammates would have applauded him. I mean, you know, no spectators are allowed. So we want to welcome you viewers on the MAQTV.com. Spread the word. At least we hope you would have enjoyed his inning. The lone soldier battling on for his team, the Afghan team. They're trying to really set a target. They were sent into bat initially by the opponents. And can I say they're struggling at 81 for 5?
Well, they've made a good comeback. We've seen a nice little partnership of two. Oh, another wicket goes down. Ryan Francis falls this time. Ned picks up a wicket. In fact, Ned picks up his second wicket. And all of a sudden, 81 for 6.
Yes, well, when we thought the happy hour would have been on, here comes Ned to follow in the footsteps of his spin twin, Sinclair and Bishu, and they're not letting anything go. So it's a dot, a 1, and a wicket.
Yeah, just as we were making the point about the partnership, and boom, it happens.
Yes, I'm telling you, my word. Yes.
So we've got 27 balls remaining. Ned has picked up a couple of wickets now, along with Devendra Bishu has given 22 yards, some excellent spin bowling combination. Nawaz Khan is the new man in.
Yeah, Nawaz can, so not everybody has to bowl, but more often than not, everybody has to bat.
So they got 27 balls still remaining in the inning. And Ned continues to bowl well. So quickly off the mark goes Nawaz Khan. And gives the strike over to Cody Chetty. A fighting 50 from Chetty. Ivor?
Yes, I'll say, well, a responsible one, because you would have rightly said that wickets were falling around him, and there was no need for him to just maybe hit a quick fire 25 and gift his wicket away. So he's making the 22 yards work and probably make them bowl at 20 overs.
Yeah, he's batted well. He's a first-class player out of South Africa, so he comes into this tournament with a wealth of playing abilities and skill and experience.
We're going to get some overthrows here. I bet a throw would have been interesting.
So another over goes down. 16 gone, 84 for 6.
Yes, 84 for 6, and it's a pity that we can't project the score, because we have a new batter in there with Chetty, and he's the one who's been doing all of the work. Just 4 runs coming from that over, a successful one, I may add. A wicket from the third delivery. So it can we say, if it can be done, can.
Yeah, they'll have to come up with a plan to get what they can get in 24 balls. Nawaz Khan, he will be the man on strike when play resumes, but on the other end, we've seen a very fine knock from Cody Chetty.
He needs help. If he can only get one batter to go, maybe a quick fire, 20 from some 8 deliveries, that put a little pep in their step.
Yeah, at this stage, when you look at a total like that, every single run will count. Every single run will count. the psychological number you're looking at, it's not 99, you're looking at 100. Makes a very big difference how the approach will be. Although it's just one single run from 99 to 100, it makes a big difference while we're defending a triple figure score.
And especially if you finish on a high, maybe the last over you would have taken some 12, 13, 21 out of it.
Yeah, if you finish hot.
Yeah, finish hot, you know, take that momentum into the dugout and take it to the field when you try to defend your total. So let us see, we'll watch and wait. With some 4 overs to go.
So Jesse Singh 1 for 8 and 2 has been given the ball, 24 balls remaining, which is 4 overs.
Oh. Well, we're going to see some seamers, so the spinners would have done their job. So let us see if they're going to target the medium pace bowling of Singh.
So Jesse Singh runs in from the far end. Now Afghan has just come to the crease, a big swing and a miss. So round 1 to Jesse Singh.
Yes, and Chetty's like policeman is telling him, take it easy, take it easy. You know, leave the swinging to me. I've been here for quite a while. Maybe try to get me on strike. There's some more instructions coming from him, as if to say, it's a team sport, pal. I mean, we know you want to get on with it, but I've been here before you. Let me see the way. Let me show you the way.
So ball squeezed out towards the onside, and now Afghan wants a couple of runs. Doesn't understand the plan.
I thought he would have followed instruction because he just worked this one off his pad gently. I thought he was working for a single, but it seemed as if his intention was to come up for a double.
Yeah, on the other hand, Ivor, we've seen cricket in which sometimes the man you're trying to shield ends up being the man more aggressive.
That is true. Yeah, he would have thrown caution to the wind. And, you know, well, we'll watch and wait. We still have some time yet. Outside the off stump, left alone. I guess what Chetty had in mind, the ball did not come in his half, so he just watched it to go through.
Yeah, he's standing on 52. And to be quite fair, Ivor, that a lot of times, sometimes we watch cricket and we say, you know, you need to give the strike to the well-set batsman. It's easier said than done. That doesn't mean he can hit everything out of the park. He's still a human, you know. He's done enough at this point, but still.
Well, if you ask me, if Can wants to have a swing with only 6 wickets down and pick up a couple, here it is. He's in the air, but there's a man down there, and that's all she wrote.
Yes, finally, Chetty goes for a well-played 52. Holding out in the deep, a shortish ball pulled into the onside. And the man comes up with a very well-judged catch. Went straight to him pretty much, but still, you've got to hold on. So Jesse Singh picks up another, and it's 85 for 7.
Well, 52 from 56. He would have done all he can, and he tried to get aggressive. Only thing, he did not get it over the man down in the deep mid-wicket area. He didn't try to keep it along the ground. It was intentional for him to hit it aerial, but he did not have the height, certainly did not have the distance. Wicket number 7 goes in the bank, so 2 relatively new batsmen. And should this now give Khan the green light to now go gung-ho?
Well, he becomes a senior man.
There we go.
He becomes a senior man by being there, 11 minutes earlier than Harish Kakani.
And he would have faced some free delivery. So he said, I've been here before, your pal, so, you know, you follow my lead. But I thought he should have run there, though. The ball went, you know, quite a long way down to the boundary, and they didn't cross. So the new batter has got to take strike.
So single out towards the offside. And at this stage of the game, the Afghans won on every single run will make a difference here. They haven't put a lot on the board, not against a powerful, put-together 22-yard Sultan. But you never know what can happen.
Never know. Never know. Like we said, they want to finish on a high, though. 14 away from the 100. I think they would get to the 100. I mean, although they're 2 relatively new batsmen, they know they have to follow instructions and try to get the ball off the square at least.
So another single to close out over number 17. It's 87 for 7.
And that's the Australian bad lucky number, 87. That's when, I guess, for the individual batter, 13 away from the 100. I don't know why. If I'm scoring 87, I can't think of anything about bad luck in that.
I know what else you want.
That's what I'm saying, 87.
It's not a score that you can score pretty much at will, not every day or every week. It's a tough score.
Exactly. So I'll be bad lucky with 87 every time I walk out in the middle.
Yeah, it appears Asad Ali has been called up to come into the attack. So 87 for 7. We've got 18 deliveries remaining.
And again, just 3 runs coming from that last over and a wicket. And the big wicket at that caught the big fish.
So play continues tomorrow from 10 o'clock, Ivor.
Yes.
A triple header again.
Yes.
And so tomorrow should be the for some team might be the last round in the league stage. And then of course on Thursday, in fact on Friday, the league stage would have been completed, and then we get into the knockout stage. Your favorite stage on Saturday, no?
Yes. Where you'll be looking for the 2 team that would be left in the competition on Saturday. So you'll be down to perhaps 4 teams on Saturday, 2 games.
So Asad Ali, none for 15. Comes into his 3rd over. And I want to suspect that Asad Ali has played at the international level. I've seen him in the US already. I've done games with Asad Ali, so I hope he's the same gentleman. But if he is, then he would have played at the international level for Pakistan. So Asad Ali, none for 15 in 2.1. He gets a full toss. Should have done a little bit more with that one. In the end, a dot ball.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have new batters at the crease. If they're not naturally aggressive, I think they're going to find it difficult, especially on the lights, to get the ball beyond the 30-yard square, because they've been just scoring dots, dots, dots. We had just the one lofted boundary. But apart from that, it's been just poles and dots.
Yeah, 16 balls remaining. A run a ball will give them 103. Not too sure how well that will hold up into the late evening here in Broward County, but have to wait and see. That's why you play.
And I'll tell you what, Lenny, you would know this too. We would have seen scores like this at this hour of the night in the past, when we used to have teams playing 2 and 3 games in the day. So then this could have been a good score with 2 tired teams traveling from Brian Piccolo, traveling from all over to come to get a game. But these are 2 fresh teams, haven't played for the day. So I would think that the fielding team, the 22 yards, might be sitting pretty, knowing that they have not a large total to defend.
So ball worked into the offside. Single. There always protection in the deep towards the latter stages of the innings, Ivor.
Yes.
More of a spread field. 89.
Yes, you know, after 6 overs, the playing conditions afford you at least 5 men outside a maximum 5 men beyond the 30-yard circle. So if you're going to go gung-ho, it's better to do it up front, unless you can pick your spots and go way over the infield and over the boundary riders. But for now, 89 for 7. Partnership of 4. Lights, camera, action. He's bowled him.
Yeah, it's that time of the game. Sometimes it doesn't matter if a wicket falls. You want big runs. You're going for the big shots. Maybe the wicket is not of such relevance now, but they're on the verge of getting bowled out here. 89 for 8 with still 13 balls remaining. So Asad Ali has picked up his first wicket. It's 89 for 8.
Yes, his middle stump was plucked out of the ground, and you know, when you miss, I hit. And like I said, the wicket's been tumbling here, you know, ever since, I should say, the 13th, 14th over. It's been either 3 runs and over or a wicket in that over. 89 for 8. Dot dot 1-1 wicket. So one legal delivery left in this over. Let us see what we shall see.
So Zia Shahzad comes out to the middle. Another Pakistan first class player.
So we were worried about the medium pacers, if they would follow in the footsteps of the spinners, but they came on and a wicket from each end.
Yeah, well, like I think the spinners did what the boxers do sometimes in the ring. They soften you up with some jabs,
yes.
and then the big punches come towards the midsection. So so wide sent down here by Asad Ali, and every run will count. They would be quite happy that that wide ball had gone away past the keeper for another 4 extra byes and call it 5 wides.
Yes, yes. Well, they strolled into the 90s, so they're 90 for 8. I think it would be a cardinal sin to get bowled out, so at least preserve those 2 wickets and going on a somewhat high. At least you didn't get bowled out.
So Zia Shahzad from Lahore Blues, first class player out of Pakistan. And probably one of the reasons he's batting all the way down here, Ivor Henry, maybe he's a bowler, specialist bowler. That's where you find him.
Yes, that's where you find. Usually, that's where you find him, unless he was sick or he got injured and now he's coming back into bat as a frontline batter.
Yeah,
but you said it.
Wonder if they're a member of the Tailenders Union.
Yes.
These days, a lot of players don't like you calling them tailender.
I know. They say I'm a batter because I bat.
I do have a bat.
I do have a bat. So why are you referring to me as a tail ender? And I look and dress the same way the batters would have looked when they came out to bat.
I know. I agree. I mean, the fast bowler. If you check their gear bag, they have 3 bats. I wonder why.
Because they take pride in their batting. So I think more often than not, they would be telling the batters, I have one over you because I'm going to bowl, I'll get a bowl, and I'll get to bat. You will only get to bat. Because every time the captain give you the ball, I'm going to take it away from you and say, no, I am the bowler.
So
but you could never say I'm not the batter.
So 12 balls remaining, 91 for 8. Jesse Singh will come in to bowl the 19th. Zia Shahzad will be the man on strike. Nawaz Khan is a non-striker. And Afghan Zwanan put under the sword here tonight. They've struggled for runs. Cody Shetty got a 50, but apart from him, no one else stood up to some good quality spin bowling. And now we're beginning to see even the pace bowlers are beginning to come into their own. And when you look at the scorecard here, it's 92 for 8.
Yes, well, the Afghan skipper said if he would have won the toss, he would have elected to field. So at least I don't know if psychologically that played on his mind. But you know what he said, which was the right thing? He said, but losing the toss doesn't mean that you would have lost the match.
Yeah, and then when we looked at the roster that was released by Cricket Council USA, Ivor, everyone was quick to say that the 4 favorites or the 4 big teams in the tournament this year is certainly the likes of Cavaliers, Somerset Cavaliers, defending champion.
Yes.
We've got the Atlanta Paramveer, Chris Gale and company.
Yes.
22 yards who's playing here. They are a top lineup, although they lost yesterday. And the other team with US All-Stars.
Yes.
They've already put together a big team. They've put points on the table.
Yep.
So those are the 4 teams that many people out there might be saying, well, on paper, they should be advancing to the playoff stage, but still there's cricket to be played.
Another
this
wicket.
one. Yeah, go.
Yes, and there she goes. He was trying to swing this one into the onside. He was back of the length, outside the off stump, trying to tug it into the onside, got a top edge, and great work there by the wicketkeeper. He kept his eyes on the ball, and he went a few paces back, and he took the catch. So 9 down, 93 for 9. Still a count run rate of only 5, and you would have said it, Lenny. They're on the verge of being bowled out. And I have a friend by the name of Cardinal. I'm going to give him that sin. If they're bowled out, it's going to be a cardinal sin.
So Ransford Beaton comes out to the middle. Ransford Beaton is a fast bowler, so have to wait and see what his contribution here is. But I thought he batted pretty well yesterday. So 93 for 9. So Jesse Singh, welcome back. Oddly, Jesse Singh has picked up his third wicket. He's bowling a 3 for 13. And look at the numbers there, a lot of threes. 3 for 13, 3.3.
Yeah, indeed. And 93 for 9.
Yeah,
not very impressive numbers there when it comes to the runs scored.
Yes, Oddly, if you were back in the Caribbean doing the board scoreboard, you might have run out of trees, putting all those up on the board.
Certainly, certainly. It has been a pretty interesting match so far. Bowlers are really on top. They're keeping things together. I guess it's just one score.
Yeah.
One score. Was it 50? The only score that glued the innings together.
Yes, Oddly, we've seen some quality spin bowling from Devendra Bishu, international, backed up impressively by Sinclair and Ned. And then what happened towards the latter stages, the fast bowler came in, and the spinners haven't softened up the entire middle order. It was probably a little bit easier task for the fast bowler to really come in and finish up things, which they're doing now. And at the end, you look at that scorecard, 95 for 9. Not impressive here from the Afghan Zwanan, but you've got to say good work here from 22 yards.
Indeed, and because they were tied down for so long, now they're trying to unshackle themselves. And what happened is that the wickets are going pretty fast.
Yes, and all the bowlers have come to the fore. We've seen Asad Ali, we've seen Ned, we've seen Singh, we've seen Bishu. We've seen Kevin Sinclair, so everyone has played their part. And like I was saying with Ivor, this is just the league stage, and the teams will have to get better. They will have to tighten up on some of their weak areas, because come another 48 hours or so, we're going to get into the knockout stage. Big appeal for run out.
We keep our eyes on the umpire, but doesn't seem as if he's interested in that one.
Yeah, Mangesh Rana says not out. And I'm pretty sure if we were working with a review system, he might have gone upstairs just to be sure, right?
Right, and we for the listeners, the person that's supposed to be doing the review system, and he came down with the COVID, and that's what's happening right now. We are a bit short-handed where those guys are concerned, but then everything is abnormal for 2020.
So 96 for 9, 6 balls remaining. Asad Ali has been given the final 6. And the bowlers have bowled well. You can't ask for a better performance than this one. And it will be quite welcome here for 22 yards, having lost their game yesterday. And so they will want to rebound back and start putting some points on the table, because little time is left in the league stage. And so Asad Ali runs into bowl 2. Ransford Beaton. Oh, that's a good looking shot. They gone Has it gone all the way?
One bounce. Signaled by umpire, 4 runs, yes, and that was a good attacking shot. At least it's 100 on the board, and it's looking a bit better when you have 3 figures on the board, if it's 101, as opposed to having 99. So it's 100 for 9 with 5 legitimate deliveries to be bowled.
Yeah, good strike there from Beaton. Picked it up well, struck it nicely over the offside, and with some bit of pace on the ball, picked it up nicely. So he's really done well with a welcome 4. It's 100 for 9. 5 balls remaining. Asad Ali 1 for 23.
Quite modest run rate, 5.2. I guess that should not be. I guess that should not be any problem. But then we have seen other stuff here that's been happening here, and the pitch has not been giving up a whole lot of runs. And as we say, it could be attributed to the bowlers who are bowling very well, and the fielders are backing them up. And but it seemed that we got to attribute some to that pitch, because the par is like 120 and less. Not really the par, but you have like scores of 120, 140, 150. The highest being almost 160.
Yeah, sure. We started with 140 today, but yes, certainly the average certainly has come down in the last couple of games. So maybe in the 120s now. But Asad Ali, a big swing and a miss. A good, nice edge there. Any productive shot will count as being a bit of good play for the batting team.
Anything works as long as you're adding to the total.
So 3 balls remaining. It's 102 for 9.
And Ali is quite a bustling player. You can when I watch his run up when it's come from the other end, you could see that he's running from far and real quick, hustle, bustle, and he's delivering the ball at quite a good pace.
So 3 deliveries remaining. Asad Ali. Oh, another big strike here from Ransford. Beaton. It goes straight into the hands of Jesse Singh. He makes no mistake. And so all out for 102. Afghan Zwanan. It's 102 for 10. Asad Ali has picked up another one. And oddly, probably one of the first all out we've seen this year.
It is the first all out for this year. And it was going down to the finish. I think two balls a spare. But this is the first one. So very impressive bowling. Chetty, as I said before, was the only innings that sort of glued this score together. 52 from 57. He batted quite patiently. And no other batsman entered double figures. No other batsman.
So impressive bowling here. 3 wickets to Jesse Singh. Devendra Bishu and company there picked up a couple of wickets. So good all-round bowling performance here from 22 yards. 102 all out. So we'll take a quick break and resume when cricket does so at Central Broward Stadium. With the news, 22 yards will need 103 off 120 balls.
Welcome back to the Broward Cricket Stadium. We are about to see the reply of Afghan. 22 yards is about to reply to 102. They need to get 103 to win the match. And I would say they would be gunning to knock this off in between 12 and 15 overs. Lenny, right now I think we want to get out of here. We should be getting out of here by 8:30, and that would be in perfect sync. So they're all ready. Field is set, and they're just not quite. They're trying to put everything in place. as they go. The wicket keeper is there, the batsman, the batter is just waiting there. And just a little, trying to get everything in place. Because in a moment, 22 yards, Sultans CC will be gunning to gun down 102 that was put forward by the opponents.
So we got the signal from the umpire. We're ready for play. And it will be Ransford beaten. Will run into bowl to Trevon Griffith. Good contest this will be. And certainly oddly not a big score, so already the batsman would have gone in with some bit of ease of pressure as far as the scoreboard is concerned. Here we go. Ransford beaten to Griffith. And Griffith gets a ball that he pushes into the offside, and he's off and running. So if Griffith was planning to get a 50 here today, he needs only 49 more.
Only 49 short. Smart running. Push the ball, quick single.
So Malik comes into strike, and Malik and Griffith has formed the opening pair for 22 yards in the previous game. And like anything else, something that works, they're going to try and come back with the same formula. The Afghan Zwanan will need wickets, and they'll need them very, very quickly here. Not much can go into defending 103. But the likes of Ransford, Beaton and company will have to come up with their plan.
Yeah, we have seen teams that have gotten a small score and the other team actually struggle to overtake that score or maybe falling short.
Oh, that's a good-looking shot from Malik. Over the offside, is going to run up towards the cover boundary, and it crosses the rope now. So that's a good, impressive first shot off the bat of Malik. He picks up a boundary. It's 5 off the first over so far.
And of course that was aerial, but it doesn't matter because only one fielder is placed outside on the offside, and he was far, far away from that one. So we are in the power play, of course. So that's what's happening right here at the Broward Stadium.
Yeah, Malik is a quality player. I've seen him play before, and already with a boundary off the bowling of Ransford Beaton. So 98 to win from 118. Oh, short, played into the offside, just in front of the man. And the throw comes in, a perfect throw onto the stumps, but thankfully the batsman didn't run. And so a faulty shot here from Malik survives. It's 5 without loss.
So we're seeing some good cricket here. Bat and ball and the fielder returning, lighting up the stumps in the night skies and beautiful. So everything is going well. Good batting, good fielding, and it's a ding-dong bottle down to the end. It's going to be a battle royal.
Yes, a Ransford Beaton would have represented Guyana, Amazon Warrior. Then, of course, Trinbago Knight Riders briefly. So he's been on the CPL circuit for some time.
And I remember Chris Gale scoring a century in one of those CPL unbeaten returns. I think he scored a century as well, if I'm not mistaken, or close by. It's not beaten. Maybe I'm mixing him for somebody else. But it was a very impressive reply to Chris Gale's innings.
So Malik is on 4, Griffith is on 1.
Loses his run, so umpire gives the dead ball signal.
And Ransford Beaton also, Watson would have played a handful of ODI, just a couple of them for the West Indies. So he has had a shot at the top.
At the highest level, indeed.
And have always been part of the Guyana first class team over the years. So he runs into ball to Malik. Malik has already picked up a boundary, a short ball over the head of the batsman. Wide has been called a square leg, and now that relates to the leading umpire. Quite rightly so.
Justifiably so. I totally agree. I was looking to see the umpire, but because of where he is from the side, it's hard to see whether his arm was stretching, but it's a wide.
So Dominic Rickey is the wicket keeper. And so 6 on the board. That one will have to be rebowled. And Ransford Beaton probably testing the deck oddly. And the deck has certainly responded if you bowl fast enough.
Yes, if you got the place the ball in the right place, and it will get up. We have seen in the previous innings, couple bowlers. The last, I think it was Singh, was real running in, and he bowled a couple of short ones. One was called a wide. So there is some life in the wicket. If you're going to put a lot in it, then you will get, naturally, you're going to get out of it what you put in.
So 22 yards have been to the U.S. Open on a couple of occasions. They've been here already. And also part of their squad over the years have been the likes of Rusty Tehran, Sonny Singh. Some of the diving, evasive action there from Trevon Griffith. A big throw towards the non-striker's end. In the end, a well-taken single. A run is added to the scorecard. It's 8 without loss.
Indeed, it shows athleticism. Quick, evasive action. We could be calling for the ambulance.
Yeah, just coming back to 22 yards. They've been here before. I remember one year they played well into the night here. The likes of Rusty Tehran. They had a leg spinner by the name of Sonny Singh. Both Trevon Griffith and Malik might have been new to the squad. So some new additions, some big name reinforcements, because U.S. Open, we know, is really one of the highest level of U.S. domestic cricket. So you've got to bring big teams here to really compete if you're planning to win.
It's not really one of the highest. It is the highest level, really, U.S. Open. Top of the tops. Score remains 8 without loss at the end of the first over. Done and dusted. At the end of the first over, the other side was 7 without loss. So they are just about 1 ahead. Still early going.
So Trevon Griffith on 2, the man on strike. Very attractive left-hander, likes to play short, very aggressive.
That's rightly called a wide by the umpire.
So Harish Kakani starts with a wide, and extra ball here for 22 yards. But Trevon Griffith would have moved off from his junior career, having represented Guyana, to playing for the West Indies at the junior level. And then a brief stint with the Guyana Amazon Warrior, and then a brief stint with the Talawas. So he's had his exposure at top T20 level of cricket, the CPL. This one down the leg side and helped away by Trevon Griffith. And leg by is the call, so certainly ball not getting any bat on it. And it goes away for 4 leg byes, 13 on the board.
As long as it's adding to the total and they are doing it in quick time, that's fine. And for, of course, the 22 yards, that is what they want. Doesn't matter how it comes.
Yeah, and Trevon Griffith would have represented the Empire State Titans this year, the minor league franchise organized by the USA Cricket, with the likes of Omar Farouk, Gajanan Singh. Who else was part of the New York Empire State Titans? So we've got the likes of Masai. Masai was the coach, Darlington coach. We had Darren Davis, Damian Jacobs. And so strong put together Empire State Titans in minor league cricket this year. Trevon Griffith was certainly one of the top order batsmen.
Is Primrose one of the prominent clubs in the league?
So a big appeal. All I'd say is the umpire just scamper through for a single.
Primrose in the New York area.
Leg by is the call, so Mangesh Rana, the umpire, he signals a leg by, and it's 14 without loss.
Easy going.
Primrose plays in a league called the New York League. They play at Van Cortlandt Park. They used to be a better club than what they are today, but they're still good. But I remember maybe 10, 15 years ago, Primrose was the team to beat.
And a bunch of guys by the name of Youngs. The Youngs used to be in that side. I know a little about the Primrose back then, but I haven't been following the league in New York.
So Malik comes into strike. Malik has already taken the ball across the rope. A lovely shot in the previous over of the bowling of Beaton. And Kakani has started pretty well. You look at the over. What has gone so far? The over has gone for 6. The good thing for Kakani is that 4 runs, 4 of those leg byes won't go against his analysis, so he can give up 100 leg byes oddly, and his analysis will still say 0.
The same. Yes, that's good.
So 14 without loss. They're chasing not a big score. They're chasing 103. Oh, getting a top edge, a leading edge is flying towards the backward point area. And the fielder comes around. In fact, we'll wait and see. He's gone away for 4. So not the intended shot, but a productive one. And it goes away off the bat of Malik. He picks up another boundary. It's 18.
Went hard at it, took the leading edge, and got 4 runs. You can't desire to have more.
Yeah, for one thing, the scoreboard will show a boundary off the bat of Malik. And certainly, thankfully, they haven't made a scorecard with descriptions. And so certainly there's no description of a leading edge that flew away for 4.
This one was punch around the leg side. Short, fine leg, but just picked up beautifully. No runs. So we just want to give a shout out to our listeners throughout the world. I know all these matches will be rebroadcast from time to time. So it will be good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And welcome to MAQ TV and some listeners some viewers rather in Pakistan. We just want to say hi to Visa Ahmed. She was here last year with us, one of the commentators, and because of the COVID, I think she was not able to make it here this year. So hi, Visa, you and all those wonderful people that are watching over in Pakistan.
Yes, certainly a global audience, as usual, as Beaton runs into ball to Griffith. And Griffith guides this one away. That's a lovely shot. We'll only get, a couple of runs here. They got to run very quickly. They throw a very errant one. And in the end, a couple of runs there for Trevon Griffith. Ball steered nicely away. And he picks up a couple of runs.
Yeah, fortunately for the fielder, there was no overthrown. No overthrow.
Yeah, both runs for Beaton and Trevon Griffith would have played pretty much at the same time in the Guyana team, so they would have been friends and certainly back on the same team at some point.
Yes.
But only one of the things about franchise cricket these days, one day we're on the same team and then tomorrow we're opponents.
Against each other. That's what franchise cricket is about.
Yeah, it has become. Ball pulled into the onside. Good looking shot here from Trevon Griffith. He picks up a single, takes the score up to 21, and brings the equation down to 82 to win.
Yeah, moving on merrily, not in a rapid pace, but merrily, so to speak. It's almost, it's 2.2 overs, and they're up to 21 already. And I'm saying it's going to be over by between the 12th and the 15th over. It should be over. But that's just a wild guess.
So playing a miss here from Malik as the ball goes through to the keeper. And oddly, while we are enjoying lovely weather here in Florida, the eastern seaboard of the United States, all the way from probably D.C. to New York, is been on a heavy snow watch.
I spoke to my mom a little early in the afternoon, and she told me it's snowing.
Yeah, they're expecting.
She's in New York, by the way.
14 to 20 inches, depending where you are. Oh, that's a lovely looking shot from Malik. Will clear everything and gone all the way offside 6. And so no man move.
Not a Jenny Craig moment for the umpire. Take a stretch. 6 runs.
Shot again from Malik. Malik has gone up to 15. 1-6 already.
So now I can say they're going merrily along. At the moment, in the 3rd over, and it's already 27 without loss.
Yeah, 22 yards would really want to correct what happened yesterday. And certainly one of the top team in this tournament on paper. And they ranked pretty high when the rosters came out. Oh, that's a good looking shot again. Fielder comes in, takes the catch. And that's the end of Malik. He falls. It's 27 for 1. Beaton picks up 1.
That was a good catch. He didn't have to do too much, But we have seen on many occasions fielders settle on the ball and drop the ball. But he ran in, settled himself, and there was no mistake about that. The batter will have to walk because he was taken.
Yeah, well judged catch, 27 for 1. Runsford Beaton has made an inroad here. Whether or not they can defend 76 from 103 balls with 9 wickets standing, that's the challenge here. As Malik departs 27 for 1.
I'd rather to be in the position of the batting side, but with cricket, a couple of quick wickets here, and then you find that the fox will be released into the chicken coop. So both batsmen walking together. I guess they'll be talking what plans they'll be carrying out. Walk, get rid of a little of the nervous tension, a little tap on the pitch as they go down. Because they're going to make sure that that little dust is not going to affect my batting.
So Javel Glenn comes to the middle. It's another player with CPL experience, and oddly we'll be here pretty much saying a lot of the batsmen with some bit of first class or CPL experience, because the fact is they've all showed up here in Florida.
And we were made to understand that Andre Russell will be coming in sometime. He will be showing up sometimes tomorrow, if not tomorrow, some later in the week. But he's definitely going to be here. He was one of the players that have been on the showcased, you know, advertising for the T20, and I know he'll definitely be here along with the Universe boss, who is already here. And he was considered the heir apparent to Chris Gayle when it comes to the big hitting. He has won many T20 championships over the world with his team. As of late, he has been having some struggles, health problem, but then, like anything else, that too shall pass. And, you know, if you have class, you're not going to lose your class. You can lose form, not your class. So it's 27 for 1, exactly 9 and over the run rate. And run rate requires 4.5. So they are exactly doubling.
Oh, what a shot. Through the offside of the bat of Trevon Griffith.
Oh, that was beautifully executed. The fielders could only look at that one, watch it as they just rush along over the rope. And that was a good shot.
Yeah, rocket shot. Lovely shot from Trevon Griffith. He does like the ball coming on, and they say when the left-handers play those shots through the offside, it looks better than a right-hander when a right-hander does it.
Yes.
So 31, they're coasting along nicely here. Griffith quickly goes up to 10. Oh, pulled into the onside, could go all the way, it does. So another maximum, in fact, his first maximum from Trevon Griffith. And the score quickly goes up to 37 for 1, short and pulled into the onside. That's a very, very authoritative shot.
Now they are racing along. They're racing along 37 for 1, 3 overs and 2 balls. I remember one team here earlier in one of the earlier matches, they reached 50 in just 4 overs.
Yeah, we have seen some really rapid scoring over the years here as Harish runs in again. And Griffith gets a bit of a slower ball, just nudged it into the offside. And so Ivor, lots of people are watching, especially from the New York area. I want to say a special good evening to the likes of Dunga Wallace. He's the Metropolitan League president, and also want to say to Bisnot and Ravi Atwaru, Murph Ram, and all the fellas out in New York. Thanks for tuning in. They're watching their broadcast for days now, and so they've hunkered down with some snow issues there, but still watching the cricket here from the Broward County Stadium.
With that, it remind me to give a shout out to Leon Francis. I know he's up there in the Tallahassee area watching, and Cardinal Mills should be watching over there in the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, we also got some feedback from Savannah, Georgia. They said they're receiving the broadcast loud and clear. Guyana is receiving the broadcast loud and clear, and Guyana, of course, having some bit of interest here as the 22 yards. Oh, through the offside. Look at that. He's going to race away. And there we go. Another classic-looking shot from Trevon Griffith. What a shot.
That's a beautiful execution. You can just look back and say, wow, what a shot.
Yeah, he's a quality player. When he gets going, he's a treat to watch. And this could be a big night for him. He's quickly up to 20 from 12 balls.
But then again, we have become accustomed to these quality players and the quality play right here in the U.S. Open.
Yeah, the only thing, if Trevon Griffith is to really get going here today, he may really run out of runs. There are not too many to make a big score. He may get a 50 if he bats along long enough to really get through to 103. But otherwise than that, it could be an early night here for Afghan Zwanan, dominated by the 22 yards.
Yes, we just have an overthrow. The shy not return in, and Griffin had to take evasive action. The ball ran down past the bowler. They got an extra run, so it all coming in together. So at the end of 4, it's 43 for 1 wicket. They are going merrily along on their way.
So they need 60 from 96. Not much of a trouble there. Javel Glenn will be the man on strike, and Javel Glenn, as we made mention, would have had a stint with the St. Lucia Zooks. So another CPL man at in Florida. They have descended on South Florida.
And the only time you'll ever see that happen, just say U.S. Open. They're all here. And I remind the viewers that it's a reduced where the team is concerned. Usually it would be like 32 teams, and we're having knockout being played all over. Field 1, Field 2, Main Stadium, MAQ Stadium, Brian Piccolo Park, and then coming down to the knockouts. But this year, because of the COVID, as we have said before, COVID-19, nothing is normal.
Yeah, a bit of friendly banter today with Ransford Beaton and Javel Glenn. And these players over the years oddly would have played on the regional circuit in the Caribbean, so they pretty much would have run into each other here and there. Yes. So when you see they fire in their little short ball, it's still done in some bit of good sportsmanship, so don't take it too personal.
I just have to do what I have to do.
Oh, a slashing shot will only get a single as there's a man posted out in the deep. And so good bit of response here from Javel Glenn, having survived a couple of short ones from Ransford Beaton. And Ransford Beaton at one time bowled very quick in the Caribbean, so he's played at the West Indies level, 2-1 international. So you don't get up to playing for the West Indies as a fast bowler if you're not bowling fast.
Exactly. If you're fast, you're a fast bowler. You got to bowl fast. And we're having problems now on the West Indies in that department. You know, maybe he is aspiring to go back to get himself back on West End's team.
So ball guided away by Trevon Griffith, continues to bat well. And so they need 58 from 93 if 93 is really relevant, but their asking rate is 3.7, so that's not a bit of a problem there. And
current rate is 10.
They're going at 10 and over, so very impressive. And even Ransford has gone 1 for 19 in 2.3, so he's gone for pretty much 8 and over. Which in the scope of things, in the context of what's been happening here, he's gone quite expensive. So we'll come into bowl to Javel Glenn. And he's peppered Javel Glenn with a couple of short balls. Is it something that we don't know? Another one.
I guess he's saying to him, no hard feelings, buddy.
Yeah, a moment. Here we go. Javel Glenn is dancing to whatever. Wonder what is played in the ground.
It could be that he's dancing to
I
his
haven't
own
seen-
heartbeat.
I haven't seen Trini Ras here.
No Trini Ross this year. You know, usually we'll be saying, hey, Trini down the bottom, stumping some music. No Trini Ross this year.
Yeah, but I tell you that Ransford Beaton has really fired in. And I think he's gonna come around the wicket now. So Javel Glenn and Beaton having a little bit of a contest here.
Cat and mouse game.
We out in the comebacks are calling it a sportsman contest, but maybe not. So ball guided into the offside, can't score. And so relative to the little, relative to what we have seen here, I think Ransford Beaton so far held up pretty well against Javel Glenn. As we welcome Eddie Edwards into the box. Eddie, not a big score with 45 for 1 on the board. You've got to favor the batting team at this point, but you've seen Ransford, and you were telling me that Ransford was born in Montserrat.
That's what they say of Guyanese parent. So we have seen him here in operation. This is actually my second time seeing him in person, when he would have represented the Trinbago Knight Riders in the CPL a couple of years ago. So he is not by any means a slouch. He's very quick and nippish at times too. So he can hold his own. Just that he had a little problems with that action. So delivery outside the line of the awesome. Had the batter dancing on whatever music, and he continues to dance there. The over comes to an end. Perhaps intimidating or trying to intimidate Beaton with his dance moves, but Beaton by no means is going to be intimidated by him at all.
Yeah, he's come out here to dance. And did you say do you see the leave like Steve Smith? Yeah, leaving the ball outside the off number, very stylish. 45 for 1, 5 gone. Glenn is on 1, Trevon Griffith on 23.
So had the opportunity of looking at Trevon batting from the back of the commentary booth, and he seems to be a very talented one. One perhaps will continue for the Guyana Amazon Warriors. So Guyana Amazon Warriors, they're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, well, Guyana Amazon Warrior may not be the franchise these days, because he played there initially and then got snapped up by Jamaica Talawas briefly. But I want to think that he's decided now that he's going to play straight in North America. He's been here for some time. He's been in New York, so with minor league cricket, major league cricket, all these, there's a lot of opportunities now to play T20 cricket, and I want to think that Trevon Griffith is going to pursue his other level of cricket, and that, of course, being in North America or Canada.
Certainly, and when I look at him, it reminds me very much of the young, talented all-rounder there from Barbados in Jonathan Carter. Similar style, the only difference is just a little bit shorter than Jonathan Carter. So we're going to have, is it Badger who's going to continue from the, you're going to pick up from the commentary box end? Delivery down the leg side, and this signal and call wide by the umpire. Takes the total now to some 46 for 1. Trevon Griffith remains on 23 from some 14 deliveries.
Yeah, 22 yards, enjoying a very good night out. They bowled well. Their spinners led by certainly Devendra Bishu and backed up by Jesse Singh, who picked up 3. But we all saw it in front of our eyes. It was the spinners who
actually did the damage. And
then the fast bowler came and cleaned up pretty well. Generally, we know in T20 cricket, the fast bowler seems to have been the one giving away the run. This one is hoisted over the long off area, and it goes away for 4. So that's not a good looking shot from Trevon.
Yes, he continues to be explosive, continues to be aggressive, and certainly the man would want to take this team over the victory line. He goes on to 27. 50 it is for 1. Glenn is on 1. But a nice delivery played into the short cover position. And the batsman can get no run. The total remains on 50 for 1.
So quick look at the schedule. Tomorrow morning, the Punjab Blues will take on Samp Army. And Somerset Cavaliers come up against US All-Stars. That is going to be a very good game. This one's gone away for 4.
Swept backward of square by Trevon Griffith. He goes to 31. And he is lighting some fire outside there in the middle.
Yeah, not a good looking shot. Seems to be a easy walk in the park.
Well, let's see what will happen. Still quite a number of overs remaining. We're into over number 6.
So tomorrow promises to be a very big game at 1:30. Somerset Cavaliers takes on US All-Stars. We saw US All-Stars for the first time. They played impressively well. And we know Cavaliers, we know the strength of Cavalier, almost a first-class team. So they will come up against each other tomorrow. That's Somerset Cavaliers and US All-Stars. That match is slated for 1:30 p.m. And then the later evening game, 22 yards, returns right here and they will face the Brampton Pacers.
It's going to be a lot of pace, I can tell you that. So tomorrow's game promised to be excited. And tomorrow will be the 3rd day of this T20 tournament, the 2020 version. Of course, we're into the 12th year of this competition. So Trevon Griffith now coming back for what? Run number 2. Goes now to some 32 from some 19 deliveries.
Yeah, they've batted well. We've seen a lovely partnership between the pair. And so 45 needed from 84 balls. So it's seemingly a big game here for 22 yards. They're going to put points on the table finally with a score of 58 for 1, having dismissed Afghan Zwanan for just 102.
So you think that they're really going to get this total, Lenny? Even it's a reachable target. It's already on the board, and sometimes the scoreboard pressure can be another team's downfall. So with some 58 runs on the board, they would lost 1 wicket. Cricket is a game of glorious uncertainty. Just want you to remember that. Glenn is on 4 from some 7 delivery. Sultani is going to pick up the attack. So they're looking to score 103 for victory.
Yeah, I'll miss the little dance and a little jiggle between Glenn and Beaton for the moment, Eddie.
I'm pretty much sure that will
We were pretty much entertained with the absence of the dancing girl at the US Open.
Yes, indeed. COVID-19 has put a damp on all that.
Yeah, we'll have to get some virtual cheerleaders.
If I ever have any stocked away, we are asking him very kindly, very nicely to provide us with those, Ivor. It's in the air, high and hard. Will it go for 6? Let's see what the umpire says. Yes, indeed, it is 6. So Glenn gets in on the action. Jevil Glenn, he goes to 10 from some 9 deliveries. 64 it is for the loss of 1 wicket. Griffith is on 32 from 19.
Yeah, another good-looking shot from Glenn. And it's easy going at the moment, 64 for 1, so not much of a trouble here. 39 to win.
So let's see, there's a conference between those two while they wait on the ball to retrieve from over the fence. It's back into play now. So I'm sure that he wouldn't want to be dispatched. Zaki Sultani want to keep the ball in the ground. Let they beat you with with singles and 2s, not 6s and 4s. Slapped away into the covers. Can't get it past the fielder there. Total remains on 64 for 1. Oh, towards long off, it's a single. That's all it will be as we wind down here at the Broward County Stadium.
Yes, Eddie, and the umpiring has really been of good class. We've seen the likes of Jermaine Lindo, and I know we are missing Vijay Malela. Vijay Malela, one of the other top umpires, have always come to the U.S. Open. A couple of runs here for Trevon Griffith.
Playing the reverse sweep. Are you a big fan of the reverse sweep? No, you're not. But you get it, when you get it on, it looks good. But when you fail, it's miserable and it looks horrible.
It's a very risky shot. I mean, that is why you'll have to probably
Perfect it.
commend the guys who play pretty well, and they're just a handful. But I've seen it come off many times, but I'm of the opinion that conventionally, traditionally, if you're a right-hander, you bat right-handed, and sometimes you have enjoy more success doing that. But some people do it pretty well. 67 for 1.
So Javel again 11 from 11. Griffith 34 from 21. We've seen the completion of over number 7. So with some 67 runs on the board, looking to get 103. That's the target.
Yes, Eddie, and while there's a quick break, just want to get back to the umpires, and we've seen Danny Khan here over the years, umpire coordinator, not only the umpire coordinator in the absence of Shaw out of Toronto, Canada, who is usually the tournament manager. We've seen Danny Khan running around and doing a lot of work, in fact going out of his lane to really get what needs to be done to really get this production off and running. So the likes of Danny Khan and Jermaine Lindo, Vijay Malela, they are some of the core umpires who've been here year after year. And had it not been for the COVID issue, Malela would have made it here. 68 for 1. We are in over number 8.
The COVID has done a lot of things that one would have never thought. Families losing their jobs, homeless, and so on and so forth. This one is played out towards the long on position by Griffith. He goes on to 35. So slow going here. 69 it is for 1. Favorite number of my good friend Ivor Henry. So now at least sitting quietly in the background.
So 22 yards will put points on the table definitely tonight. And one of the good things here about 22 yards at this juncture of the tournament, Eddie, is that they faced their toughest challenge in the first game. They faced Atlanta Paramveer. So give and take, they lost that game. Now they might be thinking to themselves, now is a chance for us to not lose any game from here, get points enough, qualify for the playoff, and take it from there. But certainly they ran into the Paramveers quite early. That is done and dusted. We've got some other couple games to play, and look at this game. They have really impressed, and they seem to be coasting to a victory here tonight.
They're very much they're very much doing that. So there is the finger goes up now. Very disappointed, Glenn. So he takes his gloves off, walking back to the pavilion. Can't believe that the umpire raised that dreaded index finger. So Glenn goes leg before of the bowling of Badger for 13.
Yeah, certainly not dancing now. But so a wicket falls, 71 for 2. And so 32 needed from 73 balls, with Griffith still not out on 36.
Griffith is the man with the hat hand. He's the more aggressive of the batters tonight thus far. Seemed like at one point Glenn was just playing the what we call the supporting role. So the man wearing the number 11 jersey comes out in the middle to replace Glenn. Christopher Barnwell, so much have been said about him over the years. Talented all-rounder. Big strike of the ball. When he hits you well. And sometimes the ball will go on over the fence and seems like it wouldn't want to come back because of the whack that it would have gotten from Christopher Barnwell.
Yeah, he's a top all-rounder. Being part of the CPL himself, having played Guyana Amazon Warriors, and then a bit with Talawas. A brief run at the international level, but he's a top player, quality all-rounder, can bat, can bowl.
Can feel as well. Seen him on a number of occasions. So let's see what he'll do with Badger.
Yeah, certainly not under any pressure here.
Well, it's easy for us in the comebacks to say no pressure is there, Lenny, but perhaps in his mind, he's saying, well, listen, it's a lot of pressure because you can lose a quick wicket here.
Yeah, I was tempted to say, well, he's playing in front of a global audience, but all these players here have played to even massive audience before. The CPL is a global big event. A lot of eyeballs will certainly look at that, and even in the stands. And Barnwell has been around
For
professional cricket for quite some time, so he's well exposed. And so 71 for 2 here at the end of 8.
So we're creeping up on the first half of the 20. So my good friend Audley Watson joins me finally in the comebacks. And Audley, it's always a pleasure to work with you, my man, along with Lenny and Ivor. Sultan continues from the far end.
Yes,
So-
so sometimes it takes a little time for us to come in. We are doing our sanitizing, of course. With the
And-
COVID situation, we're lysolizing and
And
sanitizing.
lysolizing. I like that. Have to keep yourself safe. Flicked away towards.
Of course, the safe thing to do is to keep ourselves, keep you safe from us. I mean, keep you safe from me.
And I want to be kept
right.
safe from you as well.
Right.
So it's a lot of keeping.
That's the way to go about it.
So
I'm gonna keep us safe from me.
72 it is for 2. Christopher Barnwell yet to score. So he's on strike. The big man out of Guyana.
My prediction is that it would have been over by the 12th round, between the 12th and the 15th over. I think that still stands.
So we're into the 9th over. So Griffith is on 37. Some 31 to win. So wide delivery outside the line of the off stump. Barnwell just raised the bat and look at it. As a matter of fact, he seemed like he was looking at the umpire to signal wide.
Yeah, sometimes all you have to do is take that look. Look at the umpire. You know what I'm expecting?
So this one is played into the side. The return comes in at the striker's end, but not out, said the umpire. So that across for a quick single takes Barnwell to 1 from some 4 deliveries. 73 it is for the loss of 2 wickets. Chevin Griffith is on strike. Chevin Griffith is on strike. The man with the hat hand hardly.
He's on 37 from 26, and he has struck some powerful blows rather. And I think he is aiming to be there at the end of this all. And if he's there until the end, it will certainly be at least 50 runs. Not a half century.
So 9 overs completed. Target is 103. So it's going to be the continuation of Bajaj.
And now the captain is sending his fielders all out on the boundary line, the sweepers.
Protecting the boundaries.
So he's saying, if you're going to beat me, you got to do it in singles or doubles. Or, of course, the batsman will say, I'll just go over your heads.
Out towards long off. Gets a single. So Barnwell goes up to 274 it is. And it's getting a little bit cold inside the commentary box. But it's hot out in the middle.
I was just about to say, without you saying that last statement, that I was going to send you to New York if you're complaining.
Good luck on that. Only in the summertime, my friend.
I spend a lot of time in the New York, Connecticut area in the summertime as well.
Wouldn't want to be in New York in the winter. Oh no.
I spent 2 winters in New York, and that's enough.
And your name is Audley Watson. My name is Eddie Edwards.
Not Audley Snow.
Exactly. So 77 it is for 2. Barnwell is on 4. Creeping up there is Barnwell. Trevor Griffith is on 38. Just waiting for Barnwell to explore. Turns it into the backward square position. Gets a single.
They're going about it very quietly, and this could be the calm before the storm.
Well,
may I say?
Maybe. Let's see. Let's wait and see what will happen. If it happens. And the reverse sweep was attempted by Trevor Griffith. Not successful this time. So the storm before the calm can go either way, oddly. But I think that you made that point directly to the batting team.
To the batting team, of course. But then it could also be applying to the
fielding team.
To the fielding team, but I was definitely applying that to the batting team.
So one more to Griffith. He goes to 39 from 29. So 22 yards. Sultan inching closer to victory. 79 for 2. Christopher Barnwell is on 5.
It would be pretty interesting if a couple of wickets should go down right now. Would they readjust their plans?
I'm pretty much sure that they will. 10 overs completed, 79 for 2. Griffith is on 39. Barnwell is on 5. That is the latest score here from the Broward County Stadium. Audley.
Very brilliant night here. We can see the night skies. We can see the ground as sprawl out there. Beautiful, beautiful for all our viewers all over the world. Yes, you're watching cricket from South Florida. This is not Sabina Park. This is not any other park, but South Florida. And it's the U.S. Open. The man is struck on the pad. And the bowler was getting all excited. But only the bowler, because the umpire is standing there ice cold.
So the bowler is beside himself. Sultani. Can't tell him that he didn't have that Trevor Griffith leg before, but he'll try again. Flicked away out towards long on. Seems like Beaton is out there. We'll get that in a second. Sultani turns. So one more to the total. 80 it is for 2.
Right here at the Broward Stadium, if I'm not mistaken, I think is the only ICC sanctioned ground in the United States to play T20 and I think ODIs as well.
So that has gone out of the ground by Barnwell, and Barnwell decided now, oddly, to take the bull by the horn, realizing that he has to make sure that he take this team over the line, the victory line that is. Indeed. 86 for 2.
Indeed, I think he just separated his name and say, look, Barn did well.
How about the well of the barn?
That works too.
Certainly. 11 is Barnwell. Settles into his stance now, waiting the arrival of Sultani from the northern end. And is he out? Yes, caught at first slip. Backing will give himself room. The ball peel off from the outer edge of the bat into the hands of the man at first slip. So Barnwell goes, caught off the bowling of Sultani for 11. Trevin Griffith is on 40. 86 it is for the loss of 2 wickets. 22 yards, Sultan.
That was a good comeback by Sultani because he was just struck before for a 6, a massive maximum, the ball before, and then come Barnwell trying to repeat or just a cut shot, and then he was picked up smartly. Was it in the slips?
Yes, it was.
In the slip because came off the bat and he's walking back to that. As a matter of fact, he's already in the pavilion.
Got there very quick too. So Andrew McCarthy, the young man out of Jamaica, played on a number of occasions for Jamaica, comes to the crease to replace Barnwell. He too has come to this competition and comes out in the middle with lots of experience, lots of tournaments on his belt as well.
So the equation is 17 from a small matter of 56 balls.
You think they can get that easily, Audley?
They've been working hard.
They've been working hard in it. Pretty much sure that they will continue to work.
Yes, it's just a matter of time. I think it'll take maybe another over or 2, and it should be all over. So far, this over 0, 1, 6, a wicket.
So it all evens out. So you give something, I get something.
Yes.
So we're pretty much equal. Sultani to bowl to McCarthy. McCarthy plays that into short cover.
Not
No
a dot
run.
in the book.
And as they say, they're just like gold dust. 10.5 overs gone.
In this instance, it's not too much pressure to have a couple of dots and those continued dots because of the equation in favor of the batting team.
So McCarthy pushing that one into the offside. The over comes to an end. At the end of the over, the end of 11, 22 yards, Sultan chasing 103 for victory. There are some 86 for 3. Trevin Griffith is on 40. Andrew McCarthy yet to score. That's the latest score here from the Broward County Stadium.
So tomorrow's schedule, 10 o'clock, we'll be having the Punjab Blues versus the Swamp Army. Somerset Cavaliers will be coming up against a U.S. All-Star, the Battle of the Big Stars. And 22-yard Sultan will be coming up Brompton Pacers at 5 o'clock. The Somerset Cavaliers and All-Star game will be at 1:30. So something to look forward for tomorrow. 3 matches, again, just like today and yesterday.
You looking forward to that tomorrow, Audley?
It's going to be another longish day.
Longish day. That's how you say it in Jamaican parlance.
But that's how it has been, and that's what we are expecting. We've had this schedule, so we know it's going to be these days. Unless the cricketers decide to make it some short days, bowling the side out and knocking it off. Like last night, we went home a little early because 8:30 when we should just be signing off, I was already at home because the match was finished, was knocked off in 10 overs, just a little over 10 overs.
So, Bajaj to McCarthy.
However, it's long and excited cricket.
Yes, it is.
It's not like it's some dull cricket.
It has
So
been.
you're looking forward to coming back and do it all over again.
It has been exciting. I don't think that anyone can question that or doubt that. Badger's on his way now to bowl to Griffith. Go towards
One will they take, say, yeah, it will should be 2.
White cow. Hang on. Right long off, rather. So Griffith, of course, gets a single.
So it's 0, 1, 1, 2 so far from the over. 90 for 3. 11 overs and 4 balls so far.
So 90 it is. 13 more runs for victory.
So did we miss a 6? Yes, I turned around and I saw the umpire with his arms up in the air.
Just want our listeners to know that we're disturbed by Ivor Henry. So that's complete. That's the reason why we would have missed the 6. So Griffith goes to 49. 1 run away from 50. The over comes to an end. And at the end of the over, at the end of it, 22-yard Sultan CC chasing 103 for victory. They are 96 for 3. Trevin Griffith is on 49. Andre McCarthy is on 1. That is the latest score here from the Central Broad Regional Park.
And of course, it could all come to an end the very next over with only 7 runs to win. It could be just a matter of time. Matter of 2 shots away.
Well, see now, what? 2 slips being posted.
This is saying that the captain is still not giving up. You know, and that's good. It's a game. Game still on.
So, Cathy's beaten. So, not very much going on in the middle. Realizing that the 22-yard Sultans have just about 7 runs away from victory.
Just a matter of time.
And oh, they have a lot of time. We're into over number 13. So, Sultani to McCarthy. Started the way down towards the region. So McCarthy can't beat the man at the point there, oddly.
Good fielding. And had it not been that there's so many balls still to come, we would have said, look, there's some pressure going on there. But no pressure. That's a wide, 1 less for the batting team. Only 6 to win now. Just 6 runs away.
You haven't seen much deliveries kept low for the duration for the entire third day, oddly. That's because of good preparation of the wicket today.
And I remember when Johnson was bowling for the US All-Stars, he was bowling some toe crushers.
He bowls it all the time. So, well fielded in the slips. The man wearing the number 8 jersey.
So it justified the decision of the captain
to place another slip.
Yes.
So he's bowling now with some 2 slips. The man on the point. There's a mid wicket. A man deep on the back with a square boundary. It's a long off and a short mid off. McCarthy just looked at it, lets it go by. The over comes to an end. So at the end of over number 13, the 22-yard Sultan City chasing 103 for victory. They are now 97 for 3 from some 13 overs. Griffith is on 49. McCarthy is on 1. Oddly.
No pressure at all, just 1 over from the last, 1 run, sorry, from the last over, but 1 wicket also. But no pressure with only 6 runs to go and all of 42 balls to get that. So it's just a matter of moments. I would say that 22 yards are moments away from their first victory in this year's competition. They played 2 and they'll be 1-1.
So, what, some 6 runs to go? And some 7 overs left. 49 is Griffin. 1 is McCarthy. It's going to be a change of bowling from the Comanche box end. And just wait and see who's going to. So Ryan Francis is going to pick up the attack. Left arm. Out towards mid-wicket. Beaton comes across. Picks up. Threatened to throw the stumps down. But Griffin was home. And so was McCarthy.
So we are just trotting along here. It's just a matter of time. So still 5 to go from 41 balls. So Francis just waiting as his captain make a little change in the field. And he'll be coming in again moments from now. Very good field there. I don't know if it was a sharp chance or what, but it was very close to the bat. But certainly prevented a single. And this should be just about it or almost there. And Griffith at 4 runs from McCarthy. Partnerships.
So McCarthy is on 5 from 11 deliveries. Griffith is on 50 from 37.
Yes, his 50 came up quietly without I even recognize that he got his 50. But a lot of things going on right here with some discussion and comebacks. Right. So Trevor Griffith, he's 50 from 37. And it's just 1 run to win, no matter of 38 balls.
McCarthy plays that into the mid-off area. Beaten, it looks like. So Francis.
With what could be the last ball of this match. And indeed it is. Runs away for 4 runs. So that's it. Game, set, and match. 106 for 3. So 22 yards has entered the winning column. They have now played 2. They have lost 1. They won 1. So they are 1-1. So tonight, 22 yards Sultans over the Afghan Zwanan CC. McCarthy 9 not out, and
Trevor Griffith is on 51 not out as well. So
Griffith 50 from 37, and Glenn was 13. Well, the 15 Malik was 15 from 10. Not much to do because they were chasing a very small target, and Griffin, of course, had almost a half of that score by himself.
So it's a big toss-up now here.
Beaten 1 wicket, Sultani 1 wicket, and
Bajaj 1.
Bajaj 1.